Hi everyone, my name's Donna. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to show you scrappy hats that I have been making. This is my go-to hat pattern, and I'm not actually going to show you how to make the hat. I do have a video for that and I will link it below. But I want to show you how I make the hats with my leftover scraps. So as you know, I love making hats, and I can make them out of a number 5 bulky yarn. This one just happens to be a Charisma, Loops and Thread Charisma. And on your yarn label, see if I can get it to focus, right here, bulky number 5. That is what I make these hats out of. And when I make them, I may end up with some yarn left over. So what I do, I just take these extra scraps, and I have this tote. You can't see it very well, but I have this small tote, and I have a cardboard divider in here, and on one side I put my number 5 bulky scraps. And then on the other side, I do number 6, bulky. See if I can get no, can't really see it. But anyway, I have this little tote that I put my scraps in, and it was starting to overflow. So I started making some hats. And hopefully I'll try to show you some pictures too as I go along. But I try to color coordinate my hats. Like this one's kind of purples and blues. This one's fall colors. And it's still, again, it is my go-to hat pattern. The only thing I am doing different is I'm just doing a single crochet around the border. Instead of my bulky hats, I usually do a crab stitch or the reverse single crochet, it's also called. So anyway, these are just a few of them that I have done with the number 5 bulky weight yarn. And now the number 6 bulky weight yarn, which is on your label, actually it's super bulky. I don't know if that'll focus. Right here, number 6, super bulky. With that yarn, and these hats, you can make them with 1 skein of yarn. That's what's left over with 1 skein. So the number 6 bulky, I like to make the headbands, and I do have a video on this too, on how to make these. So again, I usually have yarn left over when I make these headbands. So any yarn left over, I put in my little tote. And this actually, let me tell you too, when I do the number 5 bulky hats, I use a J crochet hook. And when I do using the number 6 super bulky, I use an L, size L crochet hook. So anyway, this is, see if I can get all these in the camera. I don't think so. But this is all the yarn from super bulky hats that I've made, and let me see if I can pick this up a little bit. Super bulky hats and headbands that I've made. So what I'm going to do, I am going to kind of color coordinate these a little bit. I like to like this. I like to color coordinate my hats a little bit. So I am going to separate these yarns into colors and I will be back. Okay, so I have them divided out kind of in colors. So over here is like grays, there's purples, more grays, here's some golds, and it's hard to tell on the camera, I'm sure, but there's a little pink in there. So I added a pink to that pile. This one's just kind of odds and ends, greens. Here's blues and tans, off-whites, blacks, browns, and over here is maroons, pinks, that's turquoise, whites, grays. So anyway, like this one here is kind of a big ball. So I think like I made this hat and it was just 3 balls, and see how much, you know, I started with a pretty large ball and see how much that covered that. I'm not liking that real well. I like the scrappy look better. So these large balls like this, I will probably break them down a little bit. Maybe use half for one hat and half for another. So anyway, I am going to take my L crochet hook. And you need a stitch marker. And I am going to start on one of these hats. I also wanted to tell you too, you can use number 3 weight yarn, number 4 weight yarn. Just hold 2 strands together. And again, use like a J, a K, an L hook somewhere in there. Use the same hat pattern, and when you run out of one color, just attach another. So I have lots and lots of little balls left. This is just a small portion of what I have, but that would also work for a really nice scrappy hat. And these hats, people seem to really like them when you sell them. They're a good seller. They just, I don't know if they're drawn to all the colors that you have in the hat, but people really like them. Okay, so I'm going to start with this color combination right here. I'm going to start with this turquoisey color. Like I said, I'm not going to use the whole ball, just part of it. And then I think I'm going to add in this green. And then I'm going to do this little color right here. And then I'm going to add in some of this. And again, I probably won't use the whole thing, because that's a pretty big ball. And then I also have some gray and some kind of cream color. So we will you just kind of make it up as you go. So we'll see how I do. Okay, so I've used probably half of this, and I've already crocheted this much. So I don't want to keep going with this because I don't want a big block of just this color. I want some other colors in here. And so I'm going to end this yarn, and I've already changed my mind. I was going to do this one next, but it blends too much. So I think I'm going to go with the gray next, and then this, and then this. So we'll see how that goes. So let me show you how I start my next color. I went ahead and cut this. So you start your double crochet, but I'm not going to end it. I'm going to pull this color through to end that stitch, and then on the back side I'm going to take my 2 ends, and I'm not gonna knot it, but I'm just gonna kind of tie them together a little bit, pull it just a little bit snug. So then when I start this next color, I am going to crochet over that end. So you won't have quite as many ends to weave in the end, but you will still have some. Like I said, just kind of pull that a little bit. That's my end. So I will come back later and I will weave this in the gray part. Okay, I'm back again. So for an adult hat, I like to make the crown 7 inches across. So this is a 6-inch ruler, but you can kind of see it's about 7 inches each way, this way and this way. So I am going to stop increasing, even though I'm not really at an end of a round. This is where I started my round, but it doesn't really matter. So I am going to stop increasing and I am going to change to my half double crochet as in my pattern, and you'll see that if you watch my video on how to make these. But I'm going to change to my half double crochet. I'm going to stop increasing and I'm going to start working those all around. Okay, I did move my stitch marker when I started my half double crochet rounds, because with the super bulky hats you do 7 rows of the half double crochet. So I kind of want to know, you know, how much I have left to go. So I have already done 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the 5th row. I did use all of the gray, that small ball of gray, I used all of that. And then I added in that variegated, it was like turquoise, white, gray, that was a small ball. I used all that, and then I added in the dark green. And see, it didn't add very many stitches at all. But I added that in, and then I switched to this color right here. It's a variegated. I don't know if you can see it that well, kind of like this here. See, it has like purple, black, grays. This has like white and gray and dark gray, and so I switched to that one. And oh, it also helps to have a little yarn bowl too if you have one. But I think I'm going to end off this color. I might add in another row or 2 of this color, and then I might end with this white, but we'll see. I'm going to keep going. Okay, I did my 7 rounds of half double crochet. I just ended off with a round of single crochet. I moved my stitch marker when I started my single crochet round, so I know when I was back to the beginning. So I will end off here. You can just, you know, try it on your head, try it on your husband's head, see if you need to make it longer. Here are the ends that I need to weave in. Looks like a lot, but it's not really. It only takes a couple minutes to weave them all in. So like this one, I will go back this way and just weave it in. So that is that hat. So let's make some more hats and see what we come up with. And it only took maybe an hour to make this. They're quick to do and uses up your scraps.